If you look around, you will see that any video game or VFX heavy movie has in it some 3D characters. To create these characters, 3D artists bring many skills and different experiences that they have acquired over the years. For example, if you look at most studios in VFX or game development, you can't help it but notice that they rely on one of the most powerful combos of 3D software for creating 3D characters, and that is ZBrush and Autodesk Maya. If you want to get into the world of computer graphics and 3D animation, you will hear a lot about these couple of software, because they are actually two of the most important industry standard software right now. This is the case because their dominance in what they allow 3D artists to do has been unchallenged for many years, in fact decades now. For creating human characters, creatures, animals, or any organic objects, 3D artists in VFX or game development studios have to use sculpting software. For the most part, it is gonna be ZBrush, because it has all the necessary tools and features that allows creating these characters and creatures very possible. ZBrush allows you to create an unfathomable amount of details and a crazy number of polygons when working on 3D models. Also, it is very stable, and big studios can rely on it to create characters with millions or tens of millions of polygons to show us every wrinkle, scar, or even skin pores that can be sculpted if you want to. For example, in the 2017 movie Kong Skull Island, the team of VFX artists used ZBrush to create the insanely demanding character of Kong and spent over a year to do so. This is the case to make it as believable as possible. And although the studio hasn't disclosed how many polygons the Kong model had, before retopology, I believe it could be in the tens of millions, which is completely insane, but also demonstrate how powerful this sculpting software that is called ZBrush is, and how far it can get when dealing with huge numbers of polygons. The model overall had over 500,000 polygons after retopology, with more than half of them being on the face and hands, which is the least amount I can imagine. Before we continue, I want to let you know guys about Class Creatives. Class Creatives will teach you how to take your 3D and 2D art to the next level. You can learn right now from industry professionals with extensive university teaching experience, which is great. And just to let you know, masterclass courses cover full character animation workflows from start to finish for lifelike characters with Autodesk Maya and Unreal Engine. For example, you can learn the process of how to custom make characters for all of your project's needs, and discover how to expand on solid, basic character sculpting methods to produce beautiful and stylized characters. And the great thing about Class Creatives is the ability to learn at your own pace and your own schedule. So get started today with the link in the description and use our unique code to receive a special 25% discount off the Pro subscription. After creating characters and creatures with millions of polygons, the step that comes after that is retopology, which is the process of turning extremely dense sculpted meshes into uniform, quad-only, and way cleaner meshes. This is important for texturing, animation, and so on. So often 3D artists use Maya for this job. As you may know, Maya is an industry standard 3D animation software, which has its own retopology tools that can help artists do a lot in game development, VFX, or animation projects, whether it be creating characters or environment assets. But for more efficiency, there are third-party add-ons that can help you provide a chance to work faster and save your sanity with these repetitive tasks. I personally recommend Z-Rail and Z-Sphere from Vertexture. These plugins are used by different studios around the world, like Activision Blizzard, Weta Digital, Square Enix, and many others. Trust me, they are that good. And if you want to take a look at what they offer, you will find the necessary links in the description of this video explaining how they work in a nutshell. Sculpting is not necessarily the only way to start creating characters, because if you have a simple character that does not include a lot of details, wrinkles, scratches, skin details, and so on, or maybe closed, then you can use polygonal modeling to model pretty much anything from cartoony to stylized characters. These days, we have a lot of indie and small studios using Maya for creating characters that are not necessarily very complicated, so Maya can be used for every aspect of modeling from start to finish. After modeling, usually 3D artists and studios go to the UV mapping process, which is a process that comes before texturing. Even though 3D software like Maya, Max, and Blender are complete 3D animation software, they are actually not used to create everything in the character creation process, because software such as Maya lacks severely when it comes to texturing. I literally know no studios or professionals that will do texturing inside Maya because the industry standard is software such as Substance Painter and Mari. But I would say Substance is more popular and more versatile, and hopefully Adobe won't ruin it in the future. So since its introduction in the mid-2000s, Substance took all over creative and entertainment industries that use 3D texturing and texture painting. I would say it instantly became industry standard because it filled the gap that everyone needed to fill but nobody asked for. Although Maya isn't good enough for texture painting and creating textures for 3D assets, it is safe to say it is the best 3D software when it comes to animation, simply because it has dedicated tools and cutting-edge features that meet the demands of 3D animators at the highest levels in game development and VFX studios. The studios that use Maya for animation are numerous, like EA Studios, Ubisoft, Naughty Dog, BioWare, Activision Blizzard, and many others, which show how powerful and trusted the software is. For example, Naughty Dog uses Maya for almost everything to make their video games, from modeling to animation. If you take a look at this Nathan Drake facial animation, you will see that it has a lot of options, but most importantly, flexibility of animation, because it allows animators and riggers to control almost any facial animation or expression that you can think of, from simple movements that require a few muscles to complex facial expressions that require firing up all the facial muscles. Naughty Dog was able, using Maya and ZBrush, to grow with the character of Nathan Drake from part 1 to part 4 of the Uncharted series, with the ability of the studio first and software secondly to mimic and simulate the growth of facial expressions and features of the character as time was passing by. So as you can see, if you are new to 3D and you want to make it to a professional game studio or a VFX studio as an artist, especially working for big studios, then choosing Maya as the 3D software of choice would be one of the best options and the safest ones. In fact, if you are a student studying game art or animation in a school or a university, there is a high chance that Maya will be there within the curriculum as the centerpiece of what you will learn, because schools teach Maya and studios use Maya for the most part. So it is a vicious cycle that is hard to break, and for a good reason. In my opinion, I don't see studios using software other than Maya and ZBrush, or at least they won't dump them for something else. Maybe other studios use Max or Houdini or Blender, or a combination of some other software, which is obvious. But the thing that I don't see happening anytime soon is ZBrush being replaced, because we don't have something that can truly compete with it. We have Blender, Mudbox, or 3D Code, but I would say they are not even close enough to competing with its impressive tools and features. I hope you guys found this video useful and informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You can also check some of our previous videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.